Yeah, that is good. So this presentation has been recorded for future reference and training. No video of participation, of participants is intentionally being taken. If you do not wish to be on the recording, please switch off your camera. And if you are under 18, definitely please don't put your camera on. There is no need. We will use the chat function, or we could use a hands up function. There'll be hopefully some good discussion. Please go with the chat function as the first thing. I'm going to ask Stephen, how are you with Teams? Are you able to see the lobby? Could you keep an eye on the people? If you click people at the top where it says people 22, and then keep your eye on the lobby. If somebody may come in, if you could just admit them, if that's okay, please, Stephen. You are muted.
So when they come in, I'll just click on them to admit them. Is that right?
Just click on admit. Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, please. Good stuff. Right, let's carry on through. A little bit about this evening, bit of admin, talk about some captain's feedback from the first 3 weekends, match management scenarios. Please have a pen. Please have a calculator or some paper. You may need the T20 playing conditions, or have access to on another screen the GWL calculator from Moss, the GWL calculator. We'll talk about wides, application and management. We're going to talk about some teamwork around above wasteful tosses. We're going to talk about head knocks, and we're going to have a bit of general discussion and experience sharing. I'm going to try, this is a bit of a challenge actually, I'm going to try and use breakout rooms in teams. I tried it earlier on today and it worked, but the best laid plans, as we all know. So let's talk about administration and the HQs, both official and play. Availability this season and our coverage has been outstanding. So from the selectors, Terry, Luke and John, a massive thank you. Huge thank you for your commitment to WA Premier Cricket. It is genuinely appreciated. And from the appointers, Luke, John, Terry and myself and the appointments committee, thank you so much. You are making our job a bit more challenging. So, some people are putting in some outstanding performances. Some people have umpired 4 or 5 games and they're getting 10s across the board. People, it doesn't mean they're not making mistakes, but they are getting 10s absolutely across the board. The captains have been extremely appreciative of the standard of umpiring that we've had so far this evening. So far this season. So well done. Excellent work. Very, I'm just delighted. I'm so pleased. We've only, of over 400 appointments that we've made so far this season, only 11 have been sub, where we haven't been able to fill it. So that's really good. Almost 98% it is. It's really good, really impressive. I'm so pleased. Our officials HQ and our play HQ, please continue to use officials HQ. Understand, sadly, if you're committed enough to logging in this evening, then I would suggest you are committed enough to attention to detail with officials HQ, but you are available on officials HQ unless you put your unavailable in there. So John makes the appointments committee complete their appointments on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then it just gets changed again and again. And poor John Sherry is just getting smashed from pillar to post. It must be the most frustrating thing. So just last Sunday, there were over 140 appointments to make. We had 100% coverage, 100% coverage. However, the amount of changes that were made, there was about 20% of changes, so about 30 changes out of the 140 plus, with people saying they were unavailable or couldn't go here, couldn't go there. So please keep using officials HQ for your because you are available until you say otherwise. And I spoke to Ahmed. Ahmed manages the match reports, so our umpire reports, match reports. I spoke to Ahmed today and I said, Ahmed, could you describe how you feel about match reports in just 2 words? And hi, Ian, in just 2 words. And he went, serial offenders. So again, if you're committed enough to come onto this call, I'm probably preaching to the converted, but please complete your match reports and your player votes where relevant. Ian Gadd, could you mute yourself, please? In fact, I'll do that for you. There you go. please complete your match reports and your player votes in a timely fashion, agreed with your partner beforehand. While we're talking about match reports and captain's reports, a couple of bits of information from you from captain's feedback. These are just two of hundreds of examples that I can give. So, captain's feedback, what did the umpires do well? They managed the players from both teams really well. I've got no complaints. We are managing these matches extremely well, kept the game moving well. So this is the sort of stuff that we're doing well. We're doing extremely well. Other captains, umpire X, and the umpires on the call this evening was very knowledgeable of all rules and playing conditions and presented very well for an experienced umpire. Whether the captain expects experienced umpires to not present particularly well, he was happy to stand his ground on questions or decisions. So very confident, giving those answers, gets asked a question, bang, gives that answer with extreme confidence. So extremely good. And then another captain's feedback, although there were a few mistakes, which happened, they accept that, was brilliant with feedback and gave his reasoning, which was great to talk to. Great to talk to. Yeah. Okay. So great stuff. Yep. They understand we're going to get things wrong, but we're humble, we're accepting feedback, and we give our reasoning. This is what I saw. This is what I heard. This is why I gave it. Occasionally we get stuff wrong. The umpire was punctual and straight to the point with rules and expectations under the circumstances of the game, adapted well, and backed up the other umpire. Outstanding teamwork. And this is the one top right here is one of the best bits of feedback we've had in a long, long time. Excellent management. We had an injured batter with a runner, and also had a run out where the batter was out of the crease, but the runner was in. One Millville player was smart enough to realise what was going on, and so was umpire X to give it out. Umpire X also ran off the field to communicate the run out to communicate that it was a run out and that no run should be scored. The batter that needed the runner was our opener. We hadn't lost a wicket yet, so once we did lose a wicket, our current runner could go off, and the most recent batter, as we had only lost one wicket, had to stay out there. Very fine details that not many people know, but umpire X was all over it. Very impressive. This is what we continually talk about: knowledge of laws, knowledge of playing conditions, delivering. I mean, I know the name of the umpire underneath those blocks, and I find it a little bit difficult to believe that he or she would have run off personally, but outstanding umpire, knowledge of laws and playing conditions is brilliant and has delivered them confidently with his partner. And so the players they'll believe everything you say. They will buy into what you're doing. So outstanding umpiring. I don't think they're on the call, but I will feed it back. Made some pretty harsh wide calls, but was fair on both sides. He was consistently harsh, if that makes sense. I applaud the decision making. So we're working hard this season, consistently tight on wides. Call those marginals, including our above the shoulder balls, wides above the head, above the wasteful tosses. Call those marginal ones. We communicate with the captains at the start of the match. Just so you know, ladies or gents, our directive this season, we're going to be tight on those wides. Anything marginal, any of those line balls, we're just going to call them wide. So excellent work. We are walking our talk, ladies and gents, and we are doing a really, really strong job. Again, what did the umpire do well? Clear and concise communication. Very good with communication, especially over eights. Very well communicated and managed the game. And this is replicated again and again and again. Important that we do that pre-match communication, and then important that we walk our talk, and the players really, really appreciate it. And finally, there were no LBWs in the game or any tough decisions. That's what the captain thinks, because this umpire, and it's happening across many, many grades, many different age groups, many different levels of cricket. They're just making these decisions look easy. No tough decisions. Oh, I can guarantee there were tough decisions, but the umpires made it look easy. And what did the umpire do well? They were confident and they stuck by their calls. So I applaud you. I applaud you for your performance this season. Well done, and thank you very much. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to try and move into a breakout room here. So match management. Let's talk about match management. We've got a T20 match here. Your scheduled times are on there. If somebody wants to take a screenshot. In fact, I'll do my best to take a screenshot and pop it in the chat. see if I can put this in the chat. Okay, there you go. That's in the chat, and hopefully it will stay in your breakout rooms. But just make a note of those instants or those timings and the details. So the first innings was 10 until 11:18. T20 match. All T20 playing conditions in WA Premier Cricket are the same. So between the innings at 11:26, it rains, and you plan to restart at 12:11. Okay, here we go. It's breakout room time. We're going to assign 4 or 5 people to each room. You have going to have 7 minutes to discuss this and discuss those answers. How many overs do Team A have to bowl? Details of the power plays. And let's just go. Just bear with me a second. Set time a minute. Okay, you're going to have 7 minutes. What are the bowling restrictions? And what is their new innings or scheduled innings time? Okay, good luck. And hopefully I'll be in a room with somebody as well. People been, yes, they have been moved. Okay, who's in my room? Do you want to all come off mute? So we've got Peter, Harvey, Ashley, and Shazad. A bit of a dream team, actually. Okay, off we go. Start some maths, people.
James, I'm just putting the boys to bed. I'll jump in once they're down, okay?
That's okay. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. Harvey, have you moved house yet?
We did an offer and acceptance yesterday.
Oh, congratulations. Very good news.
Not in the best way, because I had a tooth ripped out at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Ouch. Okay. Is your new house in your preferred suburb?
Yeah, definitely.
Well done. Good work. Excellent. Right, let's get on with some of this. Let's either use the GWL calculator on a different screen, or let's have some discussions around this. Shazad, how you going? Shazad, I'm going to pick on you. Could you come to us with the answers when you're ready? I expect everybody to have gone through. Are you in a position to do these sums, Shazad?
I will try my best. I'm just on my phone because my computer just given up on me.
Okay.
So I only have very small screen to work with.
Okay. Okay, whenever anyone's got an answer, let me know. Anyone?
Remaining playing time available 127 minutes.
All right.
So it's 16 overs per side.
Okay. Don't forget the first innings is finished.
Done. It should
Yeah.
be 54 minutes for the team B to bat.
Okay. Where did that come from, Shazad?
I just counted that it's supposed to start at 11:35 and we are starting at 12:11, so we'll lose 36 minutes.
Okay.
So 80 minutes should be the innings,
Yeah.
and then taking 36 out should be 54. Not
Okay.
54, sorry. Should be 44.
Okay. Peter, do you think anything different?
Hang on 1 sec. Sorry, I'm working on my phone as well.
Okay, no problems.
But I can tell you what I'm doing. Basically, 80 minutes. There's an interruption for 32, 43 minutes. We had 2 minutes that we gained back. So 41 minutes. We've lost 10 overs. I want to say
Okay.
there's 10 overs left. And I can't
Okay,
see
so
what the
what-
questions are.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think it should be 11 overs.
Okay. So first thing, which part of the appendix are we using?
It should be Appendix B.
Yeah, which part of Appendix B? Oh, sorry. No, you're right. My apologies. You're right. My playing conditions here.
So it should be Appendix 2.
Yes, correct. Appendix 2 is correct. Okay, so the time at the start of the innings, what do we have for that?
12:11.
No, the scheduled start of the innings. So
11:35.
no, so it's 11:33 because that first innings ended at 11:18.
Oh yeah, yep. 11:33.
Okay, so we take our 15 minutes, 11:33. So that's the time that our interruptions start as well.
Yep.
Okay, and then so the innings has been in progress for no time. Our restart time is 11 minutes past. Sorry, 12:11.
Yep.
So our interruptions are from 11:33 till 12:11, which is 27
38
plus
minutes.
11, 38.
minutes.
Yeah. And don't forget, we get 2 minutes back, as Pete correctly pointed out. We got, because that innings finished 2 minutes early.
Yep.
We do get 2 minutes back. So we've actually only lost 36. And in the second innings, we're being chucked out. In the second innings, it's time lost divided by minutes per over.
And 9 overs, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think we're all back in the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone back?
Yes.
Okay. So would somebody like to put a hand up and volunteer to run us through this scenario? Somebody pop a hand in the air. If not, I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to pick somebody who's on camera.
I've lost the numbers halfway through. Anyway, I'm still learning these bits and pieces.
Okay. So anybody who would like to have a go at running through these scenarios? Matt Capone, good man. Well done, Matt. Excellent. Welcome. Firstly, Matt, question for you. Which appendix are you using to do these calculations?
Well, it's probably not the right answer, but it was a pretty simple one given it was 15 overs. So I just worked it out roughly, but the appendix is at the back of the playing conditions if you need to use it.
Okay, so question number one. Matt, how many overs did Team A bowl?
So I worked out that there's 38 minutes of playing time lost.
Yeah.
To round that up to 40 minutes. Therefore, 10 overs have been lost.
Right.
So team A, I wrote down bowl 15 overs. But that's probably incorrect. They bowl 15 overs.
So team A batted first, and now they're bowling.
Yeah, that's correct. So that'll make
Okay,
bowl
so if we've lost 10 overs, can you explain how you get the team A bowl 15 overs?
Apologies, sorry, they need to bowl 10 overs.
All right. Okay, cool. No, that's okay. That's all right. Okay. Anybody get anything different? Anything other than 10 overs?
I was thinking 11 overs.
They bowl 11 overs. Who said that? You need to pop a hand up, I'm afraid, rather than just shout out.
Shazad.
Shazad. Okay. Matt, why do you think 11 overs they bowl?
I think they had 42 minutes to go with. And then going with 3.9 per, I think they had enough time for 11 overs.
Okay. Righto. Okay. Anybody think anything else? Andrew?
Hello. Yeah. So our group, we got the same answer, that Team A will bowl 11 overs, but slightly different reason.
Okay.
Given that the first innings actually finished 2 minutes early. So we can use those 2 minutes, meaning we had 38 minutes of interruptions, but essentially 2 minutes of that doesn't matter. So 36 minutes playing time was actually lost.
Yep. Carry on with those thoughts.
Right. So yeah, just going through all those numbers in, I think it was Appendix 2 for the interruption of the second innings. With 4 minutes per over, we end up with 9 overs lost, which means 11 overs to bowl. And it just worked out perfectly nicely that the rescheduled length of the innings was 44 minutes, which gets us to exactly 12:55. So there's no extra overs to add there to finish later. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Power plays?
Power plays, right. So two power play overs at the start of the innings, and then one surge over, which must be taken after. Oh, we've got overs 6 to 10. You have to take that.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Excellent. What I'll do, it's really important. It's a great piece of learning. Great piece of learning. First piece of learning is do your calculations separately and then come together. Really important that we do our calculations as an individual, and then we come together and discuss it afterwards. I'll briefly stop sharing this. In fact, I'll start sharing this other screen. Can you let me know if you can see a GWL sheet? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Terry Cooper, that's a hand up. Thank you. Andrew, good. So, very important. We understand we need to use the appendix. So this would have been used several times on Sunday. It's an interruption to the start, or it's an interruption to the second innings. An interruption to the second innings. So it's not remaining playing time in the day. And if you came to the GWL calculations evenings, where we did a lot of these, if you have an interruption to the first innings, you would take the remaining playing time for the entire day if you have an interruption to the first innings. If you have an interruption to the second innings, excuse me, if you have an interruption to the second innings, we take our time lost divided by the minutes per over, and that gives us our overs lost. So we'll just go down here. So the first innings finished at 11:18. 15 minutes break takes us to 11:33, but we can't start playing at 11:33, so that's the time our interruptions start. and we're going to start at 12:11 because we're smart umpires. We're not going to start at 10 past 12 or 12:15 or 12 o'clock. We're starting at 12:11 because we've done our maths. So that's 38 minutes, as Andrew quite correctly pointed out, and a couple of people in the breakout room I was in, because that innings finished early. It finished at 11:18. We had those couple of minutes up our sleeve. So we had 2 minutes up our sleeve. So our actual lost playing time is 36 minutes. And we know in a T20, it's 4 minutes per over. So 36 divided by 4 gives us 9 overs lost. And we started with 20 overs. So 20 minus 9 gives us 11 overs. So that second innings is going to be reduced to 11 overs. 11 times 4 is 44. So our innings time is 44 minutes. 44 minutes after our restart time is 12:55. As Andrew says, it's exactly the same time which would normally go in there. And the maximum bowlers is one bowler bowls 3 and everybody else can bowl 2. And then our power plays, we get 3 power play overs, 2 at the start, and then 1 is the surge. So I'll just stop sharing that. Okay, that's the answer. More than happy to discuss down the track. Give me a call, speak to a mentor, speak to somebody who is more experienced. If this is not the answer that you achieved, speak to a mentor, speak to somebody who's a lot more experienced, attend a WACUA meeting, go along, take some scenarios with you, say, look, this is what James did. I had no idea what he was doing. So can you please help me? Give me a call. I'll happily send you some of these details. We'll go from there. We've got another one. Okay. Our next scenario. Okay. So again, it's a T20 match. The timings are the same. The first innings is the same as well. This time we do get a start. We get a start into the innings and then we have an interruption. So hopefully we're all going to use the same. Hopefully we're all going to use the same appendix. Once again, I'll grab a screenshot and put it into the chat. Okay, and then we're going to break out again. Okay, I'll give you another 7 minutes. Okay, let's break out. Righto, who's in my room? We've got Peter, Harvey, Ash, Shazad. I think we welcome. Oh no, Terry's going. Oh, we welcome the Henwoods. Hello, Paul or Andrew.
Okay, James.
Okay, so similar scenario. Let's get our appendix or get the GWL calculator. Hopefully, if you're on your computer, you've saved this as a favorite and you can just get the GWL calculator up. Noting it's a T20. Anybody like to take this answer? Have a go. Go,
I'll give it a
Pete.
shot. Hey, James.
Yeah, go for it. Please do.
I'm just using my bit of paper. So
That's right.
we are going to lose 8 overs. We're going to lose 8
Okay.
overs. We've played nearly 4, so we're going to play 12 overs.
Okay. Where do you get the losing 8 overs from?
So same as the first scenario we did. I work a little bit differently. My brain works differently. We're due to finish at 12:55. We are going back on at 12:23. That's 32 minutes divided by 4. Thankfully, is equal. Is 8 square overs, and we've already played 4. Leaves. Sorry, you've lost 8. So yeah, another 8 after that.
Anybody think anything different?
I'm still getting 11 overs.
Okay. How did you get 11, Shazad?
I'm same going with the restart time 12:23, and then 38 minutes break.
38 minutes played?
38 minutes lost.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 minutes from the start. 2 minutes available from the first innings. So total last time will be 36 and divided by 4. Same 9 over last, and then we will have 11 overs.
Okay. Very good. Details of the power plays?
I was working on that one. I just jumped. Reschedule length of innings because in this one slightly.
It's still saying 2 power play overs and 1 surge over between 6 and 10.
Okay. But we've had 3.3 overs of power play already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah. It will be like 3 overs of power play, but I don't think we will have any surge over because we already 3.3 overs.
Okay. So we've got a couple of options here.
Yeah.
In fact, I see we've got 3 options. Option number 1 is they complete this power play over, and then we know they've got 1 power surge over, and we allow them to have that power surge over. In which case, 5 of their 11 overs are going to be power surge. Seems a bit unfair. Option number 2 is when we go back on, we cut them off straight away. On fielding restrictions, and we give them another power surge over later. Or option number 3 is they're entitled in an 11 over game. They're entitled to 3 power surge overs. They've already had more than that, so no further power surge. So
I'm
you and
going
your
with
partner.
option 3.
Option 3. What do you reckon, Pete?
Sorry, I'm just going in and out to make sure my numbers are correct. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's right. What do you reckon, Half?
Yeah, option 3 for sure.
Option 3.
Makes
Andrew,
it
you
fair.
online? Sorry, Paul, you online?
Sorry, just getting my microphone on. Yes, I am. I've used a GWO calculator, and I've got the 3 power play answer as well. But I'm not as across the T20 stuff, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, would it could happen in a longer form game as well.
Yeah.
So are we going to give them a power surge over, or are we going to tell them you've had your 3 overs plus a few extra balls, and you're not going to get a power surge later on? Okay, that's all right. Pete, I'm just going to come back to you. That's okay. Pete, I'm just going to come back to you. So it is 11 overs. So again, in that second innings, it's time that we lose divided by, so not the remaining playing time to 12:55. It's time lost, which is that 38 minutes. And as you rightly pointed out, we do get those 2 minutes extra up our sleeve. So it's only 36 minutes lost. Divide that by 4 gives us that 9 overs. 9 overs lost. Yeah, rather than what is it, 12:11 through to 12:55. Happy with that?
Yep.
Cool. Good job. We've got Briesh as well. Are we all being chucked back in? Hi, Briesh.
Hi.
Have you just joined?
Yeah, few minutes back when this.
Okay, welcome.
We're back we're out of the chat rooms now.
Oh yeah. We're all going back in. Good. Excellent. We'll just wait to join as a group. Is everybody back in?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Righto. Okay, with the use of a hand up, who would like to take on this scenario? There's a really interesting question in one of the questions down the bottom. Who's going to pop a hand up and take this question on? It's not a hand up, it's a camera on. So go, Ernest. I'm going to pick on Ernest.
Sure. It was I couldn't find how to get back here. So we had that similar to before, a 11:33 start of innings, and 11:45.
I'm in the wrong screen here, wasn't I? Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. 11:45 interruption. So
that's the 12, one.
Yep. So 12 minutes of innings in progress. We decided to restart at 12:23, giving us our 38 minutes interruption. Given that we started 2 minutes earlier, we've got 2 minutes of additional time, which means our G for total playing time lost 36 minutes, which leaves us with 9 overs lost, given that 9 overs lost from 20, meaning that 11 overs in total. And our rescheduled length of innings is 44 minutes, from that leading to a standard 12:55.
Excellent.
Yep. So that's the key things for how many overs of Team A bowling is 11 overs for them to bowl.
Okay. The big question in this scenario is power plays. What did you have on power plays?
So looking at the table at play condition 28.4, we see that innings duration is 11 overs, meaning that there are 2 power play overs, of which the surge overs are available in over 6 to 10, of which it is a 1 over surge in that time. Given that they have currently bowled 3.3 overs, we know from that playing condition that when we come back on, we immediately cease because, as 28.4 indicates, for the avoidance of doubt, if an interruption occurs mid-over, then the power play surge just happens anyway. So well done for Team B. You had 3.3 overs of power play stuff to start off with, and when you come back to finish that over, they can spread the field and you just have to live with it.
So will you be giving them their power surge over later?
Power surge over, I will still be giving them later because that is what the playing condition indicates from overs 6 to 10, and they have 1 over in that time that they can take it.
Okay. Anybody think anything different? So Ernest is Sam. You're on mute, Sam.
The total of the 2 and 1 is 3. So from a holistic point of view, they're allowed 3 on the table, but they've had 3.3. Therefore, they don't get their surge. It's just field spread from 3.4.
Okay. So we've got a number. We've got 2 different schools of thought here. So with the use of a hand up, use of the hand up facility, which is raising your hand in the top of your the icon in the top of your screen, who is going to offer this team a power surge over between 6 and 10? Let's have a hand. 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7. Okay, hands down. Counting down. Okay, and who is as Sam's? What, Matt? Is that? Oh, just wait, Matt. Hang on. Who is as Sam suggested, saying they're entitled to 3 power play overs, and they've had 3.3, so they're not going to get a power surge over. Hand up now. 3, 4, 5, 6. Sam, put your hand up, man. Ernest, did you vote in the previous one as well? 7? You did. Okay, good man. Okay. Excellent. So 7-all. Crikey, this is like the US election. It's too close to call, this one. Okay, you can't refer it upstairs. Okay, hands down, and I will tell you the interpretation and the way this should be applied. Okay, so in this scenario, yes, I know at the start of an innings, a team is allowed 4 power play overs and 2 power surge overs, so 6. They get 6 overs in which there are fielding restrictions. This is the way to think about it. Ian, Gad, put your hand down, please. Unless you've got something to add.
No.
Okay. So they get 6 fielding restriction overs. Then when they, if we have this interruption and we're down to 11 overs, as the playing conditions say, they're entitled to 2 plus 1, so 3 fielding restriction overs. As they've already had more than that, they have exhausted that number of fielding restriction overs, we cut them off. No further overs. And this scenario happened up at Iluka last weekend. And it was Todd and it was Matthew and it was, Sam. Sam was there. And, Sam, I thought you were doing such a great job. And then I realized you have this lived experience.
I was going to own up that I was cheating.
In the last 72 hours. So yeah, absolutely. No, we cut them off. No further power surge overs. Sam, I think in your game they'd bowled 6 actually, so they'd had their 4. Then you reduced it to 11, or it would have been reduced to 11 as it was. You didn't get gone, so they would have had 5. 5 of their 11 overs would have been power surge overs.
And ironically, because of the way the Duckworth Lewis came out, they only needed 12 runs in 4.3 overs. So the fielding side actually had everyone in the circle anyway, so they essentially had 10 overs of power surge because everyone was in, but that's just the state of the game. That wasn't there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So really good. Thanks for sharing that. So yeah, there you go. So 11 overs, again, second innings. So playing time lost divided by minutes per over. And then 2 plus 1, however, 3 have already been bowled, therefore, and we changed to non-fielding restrictions immediately upon resumption. So as everyone pointed out in my group, we change as soon as we go back out on the field, even though it's mid-over, we change those fielding restrictions immediately. And in our one-day competition, if we get ground weather and light, and the number of overs gets reduced, and we're into the second or the final power play, we swap the power play as we go back out. We can swap it mid-over. And then exactly the same, those restrictions, 1 at 3 overs, 1 bowler at 3 overs, and 4 bowlers at 2 overs. Good stuff. Okay, using the chat function, we are pretty much, we're going on time. Once again, if you don't fully understand, speak to your mentor, speak to a coach, speak to me, speak to John, speak to Sam Cronje, man. This guy's all over this. Lived experience. If you're at a ground on the weekend, and there are 2 grounds, if you're at a location at the weekend, 2 grounds, speak to the umpires the experienced umpires who've been around 1,000 years. We're going to have some chatitude. We're going to show some gratitude in the chat function, have some chatitude. So please type something in our chat function, something you're grateful for in the last few days. And if you haven't already, please, please scan the QR code and tell us that you're here. Show us your attendance via that QR code. Let's go to the chat. Some pretty cool stuff there. That's good stuff. Great to hear. I'm pleased. Good stuff. We can continue to put your gratitude in the chat. That's good. Excellent. Oh, good. Excellent. Good. Well done, David Bonini. Cool. Okay, we're going to move on. Excellent. So we're talking about leg side wides now. Okay, so we're all currently in white ball cricket, various competitions, except for under 13s and under 14s in the junior on the male side, and 15s and 17s I think are red balls at the moment as well, aren't they? They're red balls through the whole time. But a lot of our restricted overs cricket, and therefore we need to get the application of leg side wides correct, and offside wides, but more particularly leg side wides. As we discussed, we are doing a really good job, really good job. Tell the captains to understand which competition we are umpiring in and understand the restrictions of those wides down the leg side. So for many of our competitions with the anything down leg, the application of anything down the leg side, a delivery passing the striker stumps on the leg side without any contact with the striker's bat or person shall be a wide unless the ball passes between the striker and the stumps. The striker moves to the offside, and in the umpire's opinion, the ball would have made contact with the striker in their normal batting position. We're going to talk about that one in just a moment. The striker is attempting to play, has aborted to play, an aborted attempt to play a reverse sweep or a switch hit, in which case we get our 2 offside lines. But subclause B there in our playing conditions, the striker moves towards the offside, and in the umpire's opinion, the ball would have made contact with the striker in their normal batting position. That is a very short way of saying that anything down leg side is a wide, unless the bowler, we believe the bowler is making a genuine attempt at the stumps, like a real genuine attempt. They're going for the stumps, they're targeting the stumps, and they just miss. It shaves the stump by a whisker. I've got a couple of examples for us. It is exceptional for a ball that goes down leg side, when it's anything down leg, not to be called a wide. So here's our matrix that we've shared several times, and all of these competitions, so male one-day matches, Colts and Premier T20, all 15s and 17s, anything down leg side. Female A grade, all of the female A grade, female B grade T20 competition, and the female under 17s T20 competition. Stephen, can you continue to admit people for me, please? Anything down leg side is what we call a wide, unless it is exceptional. Mike Daniels.
Sorry, try to get off mute. James, I'll give you a scenario that I had on the weekend.
Right.
I didn't call balls that went down the leg side wide, and I'll tell you why. At the instant the ball came into play, so the bowler was running, which is the first part of that part of the playing condition.
Yep.
The batter had both feet well outside the leg stump. He was basically taking a leg stump guard with his bat.
Right.
At the instant that the bowler was releasing the delivery, the batter moved across the stumps and adjusted his position so that he was on off stump for that ball. So the ball was going just down the leg side. But at that point, the bowler had no chance to be able to correct their action because the batter had actually been standing outside the leg stump at the time that the bowler was releasing the ball.
Right.
So I took the attitude, well, if the batter did not move, it would have definitely struck him on the leg stump, but it would have actually struck him probably 5 or 6 inches outside the leg stump because of where the batter was standing the whole time the bowler was running in.
Okay. I haven't seen it, but that call of 5 to 6 inches, I believe they should be called. So which competition were you in? 15s, 17s?
No, this was in the under 15s.
Yeah.
But
okay. Yeah. So
what I'm saying is the batter himself, the stand that the batter took, until the moment of delivery, the ball was released, the batter was standing outside the line of the leg stumps. So therefore, the ball would have struck him in the middle of the leg had he not moved.
Okay. To me, it sounds like they should have been called wide. I understand what the playing conditions say. We'll just go back to that screen, actually. Okay. Moves towards the more. So a delivery passing the striker stumps on the leg side without any contact, and it doesn't say not where they started when the ball became live. That's in the law. That's
No,
in
that's in
the wide law.
22.1. It's in
That's it.
22.1.
Okay. Oh, so in the playing conditions.
Yeah.
Okay.
22.1.
So their normal batting position is not necessarily where they start taking guard. That's not their guard position. Okay. So their normal batting position, a lot of batters have it. They have that trigger movement of backing across and ready. That's their normal batting position. And like I say, we are instructing that if it's got to be so close, you should be able to tell by genuine player reaction how close the ball was to the stumps, in which case it is exceptional. And the players, they expect it. The players expect for these wides to be called for anything down leg side. I'm just going to show you this one. Okay. Sam, have you got a comment quickly?
Yes, I was just going to say I had one where the batsman's moved across to do the old paddle, and the ball went between the leg stump and the little marker, the protected area. So it went between those.
Yeah.
So I didn't call that wide because that sort of was marginally outside the leg stump. But if it was, in my view, if it's outside that little marker, just when they have moved across, I would have called it wide. But given it was in between those two, that would have sort of would have nipped the pad or would have nipped his leg.
So previously, our 1 foot protected area marker was one of our demarcation points. That has changed. It has got to be, like I say, it's got to be so exceptional. So exceptional. We'll just see if this video plays. Can we all see? Is it playing okay?
Yep.
Watch the bowler reaction, the player reaction. So
Can't
close.
see it. I can't see it.
Right. What can't you see?
Anything. I can only see who's on the call, not the video.
Okay. Can anybody see a video?
Yeah, I can.
Yep.
Sam's got it. Andrew's got it. Ernest?
Nah, mine says can't display content.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm going to try and share a different way. Hang on. Hold on.
That's looking better.
Hang on. This is going to look worse for a moment. Okay, can everybody see Jai Richardson?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Jai. Okay, I will try. Can you see him on full screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. It glitches a bit more when we do it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was so close to that leg stump. Okay, I'll just play it again and I'll try and pause it. So our batter. Oh, just close. Need to be a bit quicker here. So our batter is moving. We can see leg stump already. Yeah, as it's so close to that leg stump, it's just shaving that leg stump. Just shaving that leg stump. It's really close. The batter's moved right across. We can see all 3 stumps, or certainly 2 of the stumps. And our batter moves right across. And you can see by the player reaction. So here he goes right across. So that ball is not a wide. That was not called as a wide. And I have another example for you here, which is similar. How that hasn't bowled him, I've no idea. So close. So Tim David walks right across. Again, you can see the stumps, so they've moved right the way across in front of the stumps.
James.
Okay. Yes.
James, I've got a question, sorry.
Go ahead, Andrew.
that law says on the leg side, if the striker moves toward the offside, and in the opinion of the umpire, the ball would have made contact with the striker in a normal batting position.
Yeah.
So if he moved to the offside significantly,
yeah,
and would have hit him had he not moved, then are we not going to take that into consideration?
Well, we are, but they've got to be having they've got to be having a go at the stumps. They need to be having a go at the stumps. So as Michael said, if our batter takes guard a foot outside, let's go for the extreme, a foot outside leg stump.
Yeah.
So foot outside leg stump, and just as the bowler is coming towards their delivery stride, this batter jumps into line with the stumps, and the ball goes a foot down leg side. We're going to call that wide. We're going to call that wide. And the expectation of the players and the expectation of the game is that anything down leg side, unless it is exceptional, then it will be called wide. So in both of those circumstances, we had Tim David and Marcus Stoinis. They have moved right the way across to the offside. They have exposed leg stump and middle stump. Certainly in Tim David's case, he exposed middle stump as well. And the bowler's had a genuine attempt at going for the stump. He just missed that leg stump Yorker. Just missed that leg stump. But if the ball's come out the hand, it's going down leg side from the start with, even if it's, it's come through, like Sam said, that 1 foot marker. Okay, it's gone within that 1 foot marker. If it's on and around that 1 foot, anything in my personal method was about between a half and a ball's width away. If there's that gap, then anything outside there, I'm just going to call it wide. Okay, and we've done really well. We've been going extremely well as a group, and I just want to reinforce this. Make sure we continue to be tight. Continue to be tight on those leg side wides. Andrew.
I'm sorry, I've got maybe it might be worth clarifying. I think those two examples were quite full and they've gone past the batter's legs. For a short ball, especially if the batter's ducking, sometimes it can be leg side-ish. If they duck forwards, it might go over their bum. It's still technically down leg side, but it's kind of going over the batter. Have you got any guidance on what to do in that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. So if it goes, as you say, it goes over their rump, and it would have hit them, on the buttocks or the hip or something like that. If it's down leg side, it's a wide. It's a wide, and we call and signal wide. Yeah.
Cool.
So good example, actually. Thank you. So if the bowler is not having a genuine go at the stumps, then it's a wide. Anything down leg side, the leg side of that leg stump is a wide. Yeah, good example. Thank you. Right. We're going to move on because we're a couple of minutes behind now. Just going to go back to this presentation. Where do we get to? Okay. So we're going to go. Can everybody see that screen? It's really grayed out for me. Waist high non-pitching deliveries. Can everyone see that?
Sorry, James, it's gone back to the can't display content screen.
Okay, maybe because we've gone through some videos. Hang on. Hang on. Stop that sharing. Hold on, I will reshare. Thanks, Ash. That one. Okay, have you got that one?
I'm not sure if it's just me, but it's still not showing anything.
Looks okay.
Okay. Can anybody else not see waist high non-pitching?
I can see it.
Okay. Ash, you may be the only one. Okay, so we'll push on through. Sorry, Ashley. So I'll describe it to you. So waist high non-pitching deliveries. We're going to have a discussion about teamwork, about calling and signalling of them, and who does it, whether it's called, whether it's signalled, striker's end, bowler's end, preparation. So before the start of the game, trust between you and your partner, what the game expects, And then importantly, an expression that we've used through the whole of the pre-season, call the marginals. Anything that's in and around that waist high, we call it. And there's expectations from the players as well. I'm going to put you into rooms. We're going to have 7 minutes of discussion. Let's go. Okay, are they going to mix up the rooms or keep us together? Looks like they're going to keep us together. I'm just going to try and jump into another room. So go ahead, you people. I'm just going to jump into another room.
So what's everyone's experience been over the last 3 weeks in terms of short balls and above waist full tosses?
Yeah, I've had a few above the waist full tosses, Ash, and I think because my experience with umpiring is so short in duration, I know nothing other than to call the marginals, and I don't know that some of the people that I've been standing with who've been doing this for an extremely long time necessarily have the same willingness to call them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I had 2 in last game.
Two short pitched ones or
No, waist
above
high.
the waist full tosses waist high? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so were you at
Yeah.
square leg or were you at controlling end when bowlers
No,
end?
I was at the square leg striker end, yep. And I called it and signaled it to the front umpire as well. So they were well high, so there was no objection from anyone.
Right. And have people been talking with their partners like before the game about what their process is around, for example, short pitch balls and signalling or indicating whether it's above or below?
Yeah, we have been talking, especially what signal like 3-1 or just 2-1, and if the batter is outside of the crease, how far they are or how far out they are standing. So just giving them like they are far, outside the crease, so help them to make a decision if it's the LBW call. And then obviously, yeah, I had good experience so far.
What about you, Ash?
Yeah, I think it's important to have a chat with your partner before the game, just about, you know, making sure you're both on the same page in terms of calling the marginal ones. Sorry, go Pete.
Sorry, someone was sneezing in the background. My bad. Keep going, Ash.
And then when you're at square leg, just making sure that whatever you're signaling is really clear, so that there's no confusion. Dixie, have you got something to add?
Andrew. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to ask you, one of the ways it's touch line ball. I don't know. Did you hear me there? Sorry.
Sorry,
Hello?
you're cutting out, Dixie. We'll try
Sorry,
again.
with the 50-50 marginal ball, are we calling that?
Yes. Yeah. So if you think if it looks 50-50, it's that marginal. The expectation is that that's being called.
Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Anyone else have anything they want to share?
Oh, Paul Hamwood here. I'll throw my two bobs in. I haven't had any high non-pitching deliveries this season, but I have had a few of the short pitch ones, and some have been marginal. Some I've called, and some I haven't. Now after this, I probably will call a few more. But also, I do some umpiring in like junior cricket and in community cricket, and there I think player safety is more of an issue, and I'm probably more inclined to call them just to get the bowlers, give them a message not to do it, and try and get them, a safer environment for the kids. But at Premier Cricket, I probably not as inclined to call the marginals. But now I'll be probably a bit harder. That's the only comment I've got.
Right, welcome back. Anybody like to feedback from their group, please? Don't make me pick on someone.
Yeah, we said, I'll go if you like, James.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Look, we said that the square leg umpire is probably going to signal the above above the waist no ball. Not call it, but signal it. In the end, the bowlers and umpire will make the final decision. But our consensus was that unless it's really obviously a wrong call, that if the square leg umpire signals as a no ball, we would go with that call and then signal that to the game and the scorers. You want to keep working through it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, in terms of game expectations, well, I guess that is the expectation, and as Tez mentioned in our group, the captains have now come to expect that. Well, going on to call the marginals, we'll communicate that at the before the toss so that they know what the expectation is, and the feedback seems to be from captains is that they're expecting that now. So they've all kind of jumped on board, and they're expecting that we will call the marginals. So I guess their expectation is what we call for the first batting side is what we call for the second batting side. So that's consistent across the game. I think that's probably. Not sure there's anything else we discussed around that, but yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Anybody got anything further to add?
Oh, sorry, James. Sorry, just one thing is that as partners, we talk about this before the game ourselves, so that we are on the same page before we speak to the captains before the toss.
Excellent, cool. So teamwork. No. Teamwork, calling and signalling, preparation, trusting your partner.
Yeah, trusting your partner. If he calls it, then unless it's really, really obvious that it's not above waist, then we'll trust the partner. They're in probably a better position generally, not always. Generally, they're in a better position to see it and call it. So I would go with my partner's call 9 times out of 10 or 9.5 times out of 10.
Probably more than 9. Yeah, I would think so. Excellent
Probably
stuff. Anybody got
got
anything to add?
cricket where I've overridden If it's a sub, you might overrun it, but I can't really recall a time where I've overridden a square leg score.
And that's where that trust comes in, and you build that trust. Anybody got anything to add? Thank you, Stephen. Excellent stuff. I'll pick out some points from there in a moment.
Sure.
Anybody got anything to add, please?
I was in Steve's group as well. We briefly touched on like the striker's end umpire. If it's a waist high one, sometimes you don't pick it up, and you might not quite see where exactly it is if it's a weird full ball. So perhaps talking about that with your partner, like have a signal like I'm shrugging like I didn't see it. The bowler's end umpire can then make the call if they thought it was close.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good point, because we expect the ball to pitch, don't we? We expect the ball to pitch, and if it does something different, that can throw us off. So Andrew's absolutely right that the ball could come in above the waist, and certainly from the bowler's end, then certainly as from the bowler's end, and we don't see that ball pitch because we're looking sort of somewhere down near the stumps, depending on what your routine is, bails, batter, etc. And we expect the ball to come in, and if it doesn't, then we might have to look for square leg to see where that ball went. Yeah, because it's just something slightly different. So there's something off here. Thank you for that. Going back to what Stephen said, square leg. These are recommendations. If at square leg you want to scream out at the top of your voice, no! Okay, I'm not going to coach people. I'm not going to recommend that. I don't think it's a very good look, because you might well get it wrong. So I just had to plug my charger in. You might well get it wrong, and if you shout no, and your partner's, if it could be one of those ones, serious or really obviously wrong with the words that Stephen used. So just a subtle indication, doesn't have to be a full arm out. Just a subtle indication to your partner, that's a no ball. And we would discuss it first. And the discussion pre-match might well be, mate, unless this is wildly wrong, I'll go with you. But if it's wildly wrong, I might overrule you. And that's where that whole trust thing comes in. Calling the marginal is really important. I'll just move on to my next screen. So you can actually see, there's the ball. Okay, so imagine this scenario. You're at the bowler's end. This delivery is delivered. You look at your partner who signals, makes the old under sign immediately. And the ball is caught and the batter looks at you completely bemused. Okay, this is clearly a real life one. What are our options? What are our choices? I'm telling you that should have been above. That was an above the waist ball. The umpire at square leg is, no, that's under. That's under. Batter's playing it above their head. Yes, they've advanced down the pitch a little way. I don't think the umpires are on the screen here, but I spoke to one of the umpires and they're happy for us to use this example. I tried to speak to the other one and they weren't there. What are our options? What are our choices? What are our pre-match? And what about that post-match debrief? And we talk about that trust. The game expectations. The expectation of the game is that we get the right answer. We get the right answer. And if we're operating in a high performance environment where we understand that we're going to make mistakes and we accept those mistakes and we learn from them, and if I make a mistake, then it's certainly something like this. If I make a mistake, then my partner and I have made a mistake. We have made a mistake. So it's important that we understand that mistakes will be made, but we need to get the right answer. My suggestion, if your partner's there, so as the striker's umpire, we need to be subtle. We need to be clear with our communication, but not overt. So everybody sees. So if the bowler's end umpire chooses to overrule you, it's not a big hullabaloo. Peter.
Thanks, James. I actually recall watching this game on YouTube live at the time, and I think you've hit the nail on the head that the communication at the time wasn't great either. I think there was some confusion and ambiguity about how it was signalled from square leg that probably made it a little bit tough to work through. Maybe they could have come together and discussed it. I'm not sure, but yeah, the communication and being clear is really important.
Absolutely clear, subtle, and for communication to be effective, it must lead to mutual understanding. That's where that trust with your partner, those pre-game discussions are really important. Clear and unambiguous signalling. Something for you to discuss with your next partners. The game expects us to get it right. Okay, we're going to move on to our penultimate topic, head knocks. Concussion and head trauma management guidelines. We spoke about this in an online meeting, or two in a row actually, pre-season. Any impact to participants on the head will result in a pause in player welfare check, not a concussion test. We've done reasonably well at this, so that's just a snapshot of the management guideline. Hang on. So far, 12 reported this season. No confirmed concussions that I'm aware of. I'm not saying there haven't been, I'm saying I'm not aware of them. We had 10 in week 2, and we had 2 last week as well, which included, one of them was for a heavy fall of a fielder taking a catch. And I think the umpires realised, so they did their welfare check, but they realised that the fielder was okay when, having taken this big heavy fall in taking the catch, they got up, they chucked the ball around, and they had a big celebration with all their mates. But they still went through the process. So we respond to what's happened. We record it in our notebook, and we put it in the correct channels through the match report, etc. Have an example here. Ash, tell me you can see this video.
No, I can't see anything you're putting up.
Nothing? Can note, Stephen, nothing?
No.
Okay,
I
so
can
I
see
will.
it.
And that's good because you're in.
I'm looking at
Andrew.
myself. I'm looking at myself.
Okay, I will hang on. I'll stop sharing this part. In fact, let's go again. I will share. Can we see the Tim David video again? Okay, can we see this video? Yeah?
Yes.
Ash?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so it's not the greatest quality video, but the batter is about to receive a head knock. He ducks into the ball. Okay, so we're just going to watch it through. Bowler comes in. Bowls. And he just, ducks into the ball. It hits him flush on the head. Umpire immediately calls and says, this is a serious knock. So let's watch our umpires now. Checks his watch. We're going to have a bit of time here. Other umpire walking in from left of screen, checks their watch as well. Umpire grabs hold of the ball. Nobody's rushing it. No need to rush over to him. This batter's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. Umpires get together. Quick check of the watches. We're on a bit of time. A bit of allowances here. Non-striker speaks to his partner. I think the keeper comes over just to make sure they're going to get some allowances. The keeper's been around a fair while. This is not coming off our bowling time, is it? Everything's pretty well managed. This was actually even though it's only the 38th delivery, it was the second head knock. And I'm led to believe, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, the first one was much more of a glancing blow, so it wasn't an immediate call and signal of dead ball. But it was a glancing blow, so they let that play develop. But that one was a significant blow, and so call and signal dead ball. It was a massive blow on the head. He did well to continue, actually. I don't know. You haven't followed up with Wanneroo if Force is okay, Andrew?
I know he played.
Ago,
I know he played.
Yeah,
that was weekend, 2 weeks ago, and I know he played the next game. So
so
it's been okay.
My only addition to that is potentially a slightly more demonstrative welfare check. Be seen to, similar with dealing with ground weather, and like be seen to be actually taking action. Jake, just confirming, what happened. Are you seeing stars? Are you okay?
Yeah.
This is not a concussion. I'm telling you now, it's not the conversation we're going to have. It's not a concussion test. We're not doctors. Most of us aren't doctors. But just that slightly more demonstrative check, but beautifully handled. Dead ball immediately in that situation. The previous one, glancing blow, not a dead ball. It's not significant. So we respond to it with a dead ball, check my watch, grab hold of the ball, get together with my partner, allow the player a bit of space, demonstrative welfare check. Let's get the game back on again. Really, really beautifully handled. Well done. We're going to go into breakout rooms now for 6 minutes. And we're just going to have general discussion about what's happened in your matches, stuff that, hang on, I'm just going to reduce the time. Bits that have happened in your games. What interesting stuff, what do you want to know? What do you want to share? What great experiences you've had? Ernest, your experience of the weekend will be a good one and important for, if you're in Ernest's group, about how you manage that, how the extensive time, what you did with that time, whether it was an allowance or whether it was an interruption. Okay, clicking on there. Please share your experiences with the group. other umpires, ask questions, stuff that's happened. It could be a laws question. It's a great opportunity now. We've got 6 minutes. Okay, you people are on your own now. I'm going to go and join room 5.
Has anyone got any examples from the last few weeks where they've had to deal with this in their games?
Yeah, we were the one who caught that fielder who took the catch. That was the first game between Mount Holly and Claremont.
Do you want to talk us through what happened and what you and your partner did?
Yeah, it was just the fielder took the catch, obviously, and um, just dive sort of thing, front dive, and then we both fielder got up in the celebration. He was fine, but we still the catch was taken, so we had time. We went and checked with him. He was okay, but we still took note of the time and put that in our report as well.
I'm just going to step away for a minute, but keep chatting about experiences from your games.
Yep. And you had your hand up?
No. No. It's Paul Hamilton here. I've got an incident from my one of my games. I don't know if just filling the time, but I actually had a caught and bowled where the batsman skied the spin bowler's ball right in the air, and this bowler took the catch right in front of me, and just as he was completing the catch, he stumbled over the stumps and nearly fell over, but managed to take the catch. After taking the catch and taking control of the ball, he's then looked down at the stumps, which were all, the bails had come off, and he's then hit one of the stumps ruefully. And he didn't have to do it, so he's willfully struck, hit the middle stump with his hand. It still stayed. It was half in the ground. It stayed half in the ground. In the end, I gave him a caution. I wasn't, I thought I weighed up whether to report him or to give him a caution. I thought it was a bit harsh either way, but I felt as though I had to do something. And I know the batter, one of the, I think, non-striker, he said, "Oh, can he just do that?" So in the end, I just gave him a bit of a caution. But I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts on that. But if anyone wants to make a comment, I'm happy to listen to it. Cheers.
Righto, welcome back. Hope you had some good discussion in your groups there.
Yeah.
Just going to see if I can unmute. Yeah, no, I can't unmute people. Good job. We've got about a minute left. Would anybody like to share a particular incident, moment, story that they think the group would benefit for? We're going to do two, because we're going to finish the topic in progress, and then we're going to call time. So would anybody like to share? We're going to do two. First hand up. Yeah, Ernest, go ahead. That's a great question, Terry. You there, Ernest? Anybody from Ernest's room would like to? Okay, so I'll let you know that in Ernest's game they had a. Is he still here? Is he gone?
Yeah, it's all right. My computer went up funny of me. So happy to share if you want, James.
Please do.
Yep. So I had my first on Saturday where we had to call the ambulance. Keeper went down after a run out. No collision. He just went straight down. And so he immediately screamed out in pain. Amongst all his swearing, it's like call the ambulance straight away. So we knew it wasn't just a trip, it wasn't just a I lost my balance, I'm winded, give me a moment, I'll be fine. But he was in significant pain. And so my partner David and I, we immediately took note of the time, and then we immediately started to assign roles to people. So I was like, right, someone call the ambulance, someone else, do you need to call his next of kin? Do you guys know that? All right, Claremont Netherlands, so this was at Mill Vista. So it's two separate grounds where we didn't have external support. We could call people in the club room. All right, Claremont Netherlands, where's the ambulance going to come from? All right, that gate looks locked there. All right, can someone go try find the key for that? All right, can someone go stand at the entrance to that? Can someone go get a towel for him to get some water in case he needs it? All that kinds of things. We decided because the ambulance needed to be called, we needed to let Luke, Douglas, and John Sherry know as soon as possible. So one of us was always staying around the players, and then one of us who went off to make the phone calls, and we took turns in that. So it wasn't just one of us having to deal with the situation all at the same time. But we always made sure that one of us always stood there to be around, to keep an eye on things, to know what was happening. And then we took turns, so doing that. Initially, when he went down, I thought, hey, maybe he just lost his balance. If it was just going to be a couple of minutes for he's winded, that's just allowances. We'll just give him a couple of minutes. The moment that we said, right, this is an ambulance thing, in my mind, all right, that's going to take a while. That's going to be reducing overs. And then once we got a hold of Luke Douglas on the phone, he confirmed that, yep, he was happy for us to reduce overs there. Once the ambulance got there, we handed off duty of care to the paramedics to let them do their thing. And including, they said, look, can everyone just leave us alone? And we're like, that's fine. We got the players back. David and I then started to do calculations because we didn't know how long the ambulance was going to take for the player. We ran through a few different numbers. Is that right? It's going to take this amount of time to start that amount of time. So we had some scenarios we could immediately tell the captains. We were also conscious that his teammates have just seen their friend go down injured. The other player, the two batters there, obviously the batting team of the boundary has just seen this happen. We want to make sure that the players are also okay. We told the captains, look, this is our recalculated starting time when we give them the information, but please keep an eye on your players, especially Perth. This is your mate. If any of your teammates are starting to look as if they can't handle it, please, if you need to go off, go off. This is only a game of cricket. Your welfare is more important. And captains, you know your players better than we do. We'll keep an eye on them as well in case we see anything. But you know your players best, so please keep an eye on them. David and I also said that to each other. Hey, we'll keep an eye on each other as well, make sure that we're going okay. We discussed it at the end of the match as well, making sure that we were going to contact our mentors, our senior people, to make sure of that. And David and I have been in contact during the week just to check in on each other as well. Happy to take any questions, but it's the first I've ever had having to call an ambulance to a match.
That's outstanding stuff. Thank you, Ernest. So thank you on behalf of the game of cricket for that wonderful management of that situation. A couple of bits that I picked out from there. Player welfare is absolutely most important. It's just a game of cricket. Player welfare is the most important. There will be a tipping point when we move from allowance to interruption. Excellent that you made those communication, got those lines of communication open. Good stuff. Really, really good. I won't take questions for Ernest. If anybody wants to ask Ernest a question, I'm sure I'd be happy to stay on afterwards and answer any questions. So when we start clicking leave and say goodbye, then Ernest, if you want to stay on for a moment, and if anybody wants to ask Ernest a question, please do. I will complete this with our next umpire training. So thank you very much for your attendance this evening. Hope you found it valuable. Our next umpire training will be at the Wacker ground, hopefully, as long as nothing too serious happens at the Wacker. Or, anything can happen. Anything can happen. We have rooms taken off us right, left, and centre. Strangely enough, when we do umpire training, we don't earn any money out of it. But when we rent our rooms out to big events and big corporations, then they earn money. So we occasionally get bumped. It doesn't happen very often. So our next umpire training will be Wednesday, the 13th of November, which is after the first 2-day round in senior men's cricket as well. It'll be 6:30 at the Wacker. Please invite your friends, ask them to come along, and I look forward to seeing you then. So if there's nothing further, I will call time and go and enjoy the rest of your evening, my friends. Thank you so much for your attendance. I will stop recording.
Thanks,
James.
Excellent.
Thank you.